Are we going live? I can't tell. We are live. Okay. It was a delayed reaction there. What is up? It is the live stream lounge. Tonight's episode is going to be amazing. It's probably one of two that I have been waiting for since we started the live stream lounge almost 2 years ago.
What?
Cannot wait to chat about all the things. First of all, I have a new cue card here, and it is James' outfit.
What?
So we like to start each day with James' outfit. James, what is up here? Let me do this. What is shaken? Oh my gosh, dapper. So today's a little bit different. I wouldn't call this cyberpunk at all. I would call this K-pop or K-rock. What is this?
Oh, this is a hat that you gave me.
Actually. Yeah.
Got the koi fish here.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if this style of hat was still relevant because
oh, dude,
I remember Depression era newspaper boys selling their stuff for 50 cents, and I'm like, well,
back during the Great
I was
Depression.
gonna say if Christian Bale can wear it. Then
oh yeah.
And then this one is kind of neat because while you can have the jacket like this, it also fully zips and buttons up here, having detachable panel,
yeah,
and all the way down. It basically looks like a streetwear tech samurai.
Yeah,
once it's all equipped. But
that's true. But not as much when you've got it like that. It doesn't
just take it all
doesn't stand out as much.
You can wear it 3 different ways.
Love that.
Volante, like real modern like jackets and everything like that.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that is amazing. So the first thing we always do, we start with a drink. And of course, I've already got these right here. Let me do this. So for James, I just grabbed you. I hope it's okay, just because it's weird. And I know you like weird. This is E.T. Touching Elliot's head. Like if you've never seen the movie out of context, it's a little strange, right? It's a really cool moment in the film. And then of course, I'm going old school today. I'm in a really good movie. I'm going with Cylon Centurion from Battlestar Galactica. Oh my gosh. So tonight's episode, as you guys probably know, I am just so excited that Aladdin 3477, the first film, The Jinn of Wisdom, is coming out January 3rd, baby. Oh my gosh, that is so cool. Now, if you are a pessimist and you hear that, you might be saying, oh yeah, that's great. That's next year. But if you're an optimist, you're saying, oh my gosh, that's less than 6 weeks from now. And there's a lot of really cool things that are going to be happening in the next 6 weeks, gearing up for this. I'm not even sure that I'm ready. Mentally, I'm ready. I'm moving as fast as I can, and it's going to be great. What happens, happens. And I am super, super excited. Nervous? Not at all. Excited? Yes, I guess. So, James, I'm just curious, do you need the extra boost tonight?
I do.
All right. This is, do you like this grind espresso?
It's actually pretty good, yeah.
Double espresso?
I was literally at that meeting for like 8 hours, so yeah.
I'm
gonna need.
Let's give you some juice.
Someone at the meeting said, James, you've been hyping this movie and supporting this movie actively for with the rest of the handful of you guys doing this. I'm like, yeah. And you've been doing it for the last couple of years when other people may have gotten fed up waiting. I'm like, yeah. You ever wonder if it's a realistic concern if your movie is just completely unwatchable? I'm like, you know what? I believe Samuel L. Jackson said it best when I said, I don't remember asking you a damn thing.
I was thinking about this earlier today because most people, for example, in and around the movie who have worked on it, everyone's been super patient and super amazing. There are a couple people, and not any of the mains involved, but just a couple people that did help out and were great. And along the way, in the last couple years, every time I saw them, kind of said the same thing. Like, dude, people are losing steam. No one's going to care about this movie when it comes out. You need to just put it out. And I was like, but it's not ready yet. It's not. They're like, just put it out. People want to see it now. They're not going to want to see it later. Just put it out now. But if I wasn't finished, if I didn't have everything dialed in, it wouldn't have passed quality control. It wouldn't be on Apple TV Plus. There's just so many things. It just wasn't ready. And I like, look, no one has been more bummed out about the wait than me. No one has been more excited than me.
You
but
can't
it
rush
just,
perfection.
yeah, it just wasn't ready. You know.
In fact, when people said, "I don't know if people are going to care about practical effects anymore," I'm like, really? Wicked just came out. And I don't think people realize how much of that movie.
Did you see it?
Yes.
How is it? Everyone says it's amazing. I can't wait.
Absolutely a love story to the Broadway musical.
No way. Oh my gosh.
Right now, with how much of that is actually practically from the ground up.
Yeah.
Like, people care about practical.
Just celebrate. Are we doing the 1883 from France again?
Woo-hoo.
All right. By the way, this isn't even alcohol. This is just salted caramel, but it's expensive. Salted caramel, 0-calorie dip. And it's pretty good. I don't know if it's the best tasting, but for some reason, because it's in a glass bottle and it costs more, it instantly places value on it.
And then other people on the other side said, you know, if you spent a bunch of money on it, it would be a guaranteed hit. And like, that's a fun thing that you bring up, because most recently, Sony dropped $400 million onto what they proudly claimed was going to be the next Star Wars. And
what was that?
It's called Concord. And they pulled it entirely and they shut it all down because it only made $1 million. And I was like, oh, and it made it into the Museum of Failure, which I just recently found
Did you
out
see the movie? I had never even heard of it.
No, it's a game.
Oh, okay.
It's a museum.
They spent $400 million on
And
it?
they made $1 million. And the Museum of Failure is a physical location. You can visit all of humanity's innovations that just bombed ahead of its time. Google Glass is in this museum.
Oh, wow. I just thought that hadn't come out yet.
I think it's just ahead. So I think we're going to be just fine.
That 1883. Let's get to the scoop. Are you guys ready? Let's go. I want to see Wicked. I wasn't that interested. Casey's seen it a bunch of times, so she, of course, wants to go. My sister wants to go. Josh Tawby saw it and said it's movie of the year. And I'm like, really? Movie of the year? And I asked, would I like it? I hadn't, for me, I love musicals, but I have to know the music. I have to be able to kind of sing along, and I just have to be I love when they do this song. Mm-hmm. And if I don't know it, sometimes I just don't. I see everyone else really into it. Wow, everyone's really into this, but I don't know it yet. Same like going to a music concert. If it's a band, it doesn't matter how good they are. If you don't know the songs, you're just kind of, yeah, but everyone else just knows all the words and everything.
I think for you, though, if you don't know the soundtrack yet, you going to see it for just the technical execution, I think you'll be impressed by that.
Well, that, and also recently, Casey and I, just earlier was it this year? Or was it last year?
What?
Oh my gosh, when did we go? We went on a cruise at some point. That was last year. I had never seen Hairspray before, and I never wanted to see it because I just assumed, I didn't know anything about the story. I just assumed because it was called Hairspray and I knew it took place in the 60s. It's it's just trying to be Grease, another hair product from the 60s. Oh my gosh. Didn't know any of the music, didn't know any of the words, didn't know any of the story. I was mesmerized. It was the best musical I've ever seen.
Really?
I want to see more versions. It was so good. I cried through the whole thing. It was and it was on Royal Caribbean. They always have really, really good a couple, maybe more than a couple years earlier. Prior to that, the best time I had ever seen a musical was Grease, and I've seen Grease a bunch of times, but seeing Grease on Royal Caribbean, they just have incredible, incredible performers. And I think because they have their stage built into the boat, it's not a traveling thing where it's only here for a month and then it's only there for a month. They were really able to dial in things that like, lift out of the stage and things that drop from the ceiling, things that are a little bit more permanent. Anyway, we're going on and on about musicals, and I know you guys want to get to it. It is the live stream lounge. We've got a doozy today. Okay, real quick, because I'm a proud father, I've got a new segment. I need a better title for this.
I don't know if you do.
I don't want to go over and over as proud father. I don't want to like keep, showing videos and tons of photos of my son. But I figured, you know what? It's okay to have like one photo each time. I feel like that's fair. So I'm calling this now Incredibo.
I think you need to just keep that.
Because it's so bad. Anyway, there he is. Adorbs. Oh my gosh, proud father. Okay. So new videos last week. I released right before all the Aladdin hoopla. Contrast always wins. So there's this really cool video. It is worth checking out where I had this drawing, and I did this drawing, gosh, so long ago. And I want to say this was for the Style D one sheet I illustrated for Revenge of the Sith. And at first we weren't sure what we wanted to do for Padme. We were trying to find something that worked. And I think the idea Lucasfilm had was they wanted Padme to be somber, but it was really kind of taking down the tone of the poster. So we didn't go in that direction. But I put a lot of work into the detail of Padme's wedding dress here. And but I just didn't like the drawing. There was something about it that was just kind of flat. And then I always wanted to add more contrast in the background and just kind of beef it up. So there's a video. It's all in real time. It's less than 20 minutes. And I took a drawing that was just so-so to me. And in 20 minutes, I used contrast to really make this punchy. And now I absolutely love this sketch. So it's something for those of you that are artists. You may get some good tips out of it. It's worth checking out. Real quick, I don't want to go into this too much. I've been checking in every time, just kind of sharing my journey, trying to figure out the algorithm of TikTok, Insta Reels, and YouTube Shorts. It is interesting that each week, I only get a few more followers on each of these platforms. Last week, I got not a lot more, but I definitely got a lot more than usual. And that just makes me feel so great because for the longest time, everyone was so into like the Star Wars that I do and the Stranger Things, and no one really cared about Aladdin 3477. Now it's the opposite. And it's like, oh my gosh, and this is my baby. This is the dream. So thank you guys so much for those of you that are interested. It is just amazing. I had a horror story happen right before all of this hoopla went down. No one even knows about this yet, and I'm going to share it tonight. So first, to preface this, right before the first push for Aladdin 3477, so right before the Kickstarter and everything else, for some reason, Facebook canceled the Facebook Aladdin 3477 Pro page. I had been building that for about 12 years. We had 13,000 followers and then just gone. And all it said was, you can't impersonate a real, like someone else's product. And it was Aladdin 3477. Like, I own the property. Like, so I tried to follow up. They're like, the decision's been made. You can leave feedback, but yeah, try again next time. And it was just like, oh my gosh, like, this is horrible, right? Well, it just so happens last Wednesday evening, I was actually on Instagram. I wasn't on the Aladdin 3477 page, but guess what? This message comes up We have suspended your account, Aladdin3477. You've got 180 days left to appeal, or you will permanently remove your account. What this means, your account is not visible to people on Instagram right now, and you cannot use it.
Under what?
I looked it up, and again, same thing. It appears you're impersonating someone else's brand. You can't do that.
Someone's reporting you on purpose.
I think so. Anyway, so I appealed right away, and I said, hey, it's an independent movie. It's my thing. And I took a screenshot of this, and oh my gosh, guess what? Within 10 minutes, it was back up and running, and I got an apology message from Meta. And I was like, oh my gosh, thank you. Why didn't you guys do that last time with Facebook? Maybe there's just a thing. And you know what? There's a lot of AI and bots, and there is a lot of impersonation happening and hacking and stealing people's identities and stuff. So I kind of get it, and I get the importance of it. I'm just glad that an actual person looked into the matter. Within 10 minutes, it was back up and running. And I was like, oh, great, amazing. So really, really, really bad news followed by really, really, really good news. They say, and listen, the Aladdin3477 Facebook or Instagram page is not like the winning thing of my life. I think we just surpassed 500 followers, so it's not the cat's pajamas or anything like that anyway on socials. But there's like a saying, imagine losing everything you have. This is not everything that I have by any means, but imagine losing everything you have. How do you feel? And then imagine getting everything back. Now, how do you feel? It feels pretty good, right? So I was like, what is going on with this? And then I got it back, and I'm like, that's cool. All right. Fiji Fridays. So there was a really cool Fiji Friday. I shared this from the week before, but our Wolf Baldessaro, who's actually going to be on our live stream in a couple weeks. I have to get in touch with Wolf about that. He did the coolest Fiji Friday. I believe it's the first time Fiji Friday was a movie, but they may have not all been Fiji, but he took, I think, 180 different photos throughout this trip to Puerto Rico. And he made this little movie called Fiji's Island Adventure. It's Kong Chiam, Fiji, with the blue and the yellow. It is such a beautiful, tender, sweet movie. You have to check it out. It is on Wolf's Instagram page, but also I shared it. I think I shared it. I know I shared it in a story, but you can find it if you look up the hashtag Fiji Friday or Fiji Fridays. It's kind of both of them. But look those up. You'll find it on Insta. All right. So here's the scoop. Everyone's been wanting to chat or hear about Aladdin 3477. Real quick. Oh my gosh. Let's get to some comments. Happy Thanksgiving. You know what? This is kind of the Thanksgiving episode. I was thinking maybe next week is a little closer after Thanksgiving. And because we've got so much to chat about today, I think next week is going to be the official Thanksgiving episode. But just the same, boy, I have so much to be thankful for this year. Awesome. And then okay. Whoops. I'm just pushing buttons at this point. Oh my, unbelievable that we have a release date. January 3rd, baby. Oh my gosh, cannot wait. So cool. Looking good, James. Thank you, Robin. On YouTube, rock and roll.
Flatter me.
DTE James Dapper McRapper the Scrapper. Wolf is hanging out with us. James is a sexy beast in anything.
Shut up, baby. I know it.
Yay. Noah Gramato, how you doing? Congratulations on the upcoming movie. He's hanging out with us on Facebook. I've been excited to see this movie for years. Yeah, Noah, oh my gosh, you've known about this forever. Wow. DTE Concord survived 12 days. I have to see what this I haven't heard of this.
That's why.
Chantel, I never seen Hairspray. It is so good. It is
one with You Can't Stop the Beat.
You know, I don't know. There was a movie in the late 80s that apparently was really good. And then I think it came out again in the early 2000s, and maybe Zac Efron is in it or something. Never seen any of them, but it was so good. And again, maybe not every version of it is so good, but the one that I saw was the best. It was absolutely the best musical I've ever seen. Hey, Brittany, what is up? Hi, Matt and James. What is going on? Hey, I hope you're doing better. I know you were going through some health stuff earlier. I hope you are feeling better. Crickets. That's right, Wolf. So it feels so good that it is not crickets anymore. Need a cutie, says Robin. I can't remember what that's in reference to. It's probably in reference to you.
I highly doubt that, but you know, I'll take it where I can get it.
Oh, so cute. Okay, this has to be.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's your baby.
He's. You're making dad jokes now. Welcome. Yeah, it's. I feel like I'm getting pretty good at the dad jokes. You know what's great about it is that's my excuse now when I say something super cheesy that's like eye rolling. It's like, hey, I'm a dad now, so I have the get out of jail free card with
you didn't have that card when jokes. You were mid-production,
nor at the beginning, and I was already saying cray cray well past its prime. Mama Rick, hey guys, happy Thanksgiving and jazzed for January. God, that should be our hashtag
jazzed for January
for the next 6 weeks. I love that. Jazzed for January. Oh my gosh. Oh, my mom hanging out with us on YouTube. Love Incredibo. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I like it. All right. Well, if you guys come up with something better, it is kind of cheesy, but
try.
Really?
I just want
Incredible. All right. That's what everyone's saying is cute. Incredible. So I don't want to take it away from you, James.
No, I knew it wasn't me. There's no logical reason for it.
Oh my gosh. Wolf, surprised you actually got a hold of someone, let alone gets it fixed. Yeah, that was crazy and so quick too. Yeah, that was awesome. David Michael Wazak, I hope I'm saying your last name right. What is going on? Thanks for hanging out with us. Brian Zanichelli, what is up? Hanging out on YouTube. Thanks for hanging out with us. Hi, Noah. I know you. Oh my gosh, I know peeps that know peeps. Woohoo! James, you're cute too. Okay, there we go. All right, I'm with it now. I know what's up. All right, Aladdin 3477. So real quick, we need to do a really quick recap. There's key art now. There's actually a lot more key art that we're going to see and all kinds of scoops today. So real quick, let me just give a quick recap. It'll be really, really quick of Buffalo 8, which is what we went over last week. But that rolls right into what's happened since then. Because there's a lot of things that I kind of knew were coming up, but I didn't know how quick they were coming up. So let's kind of dive into that. So as you guys know, Buffalo 8 is the distributor. They have produced many movies in full or in part, including Clerks 3, The Fallout with Jenna Ortega, Black Klansman with Adam Driver, Loving Vincent, which is an awesome animated movie. I actually haven't seen it yet, but I want to see it. And it also was nominated for an Oscar. That is crazy for an indie movie to be nominated for an Oscar alongside of Disney and Pixar and Illumination and DreamWorks and Leica. Rob Zombie's 31, Liam Neeson in The Honest Thief. One of the executive producers at Buffalo 8 is Jonathan Lipnicki. So Jerry Maguire and Stuart Little represent. They also did a movie, I haven't seen it yet, The Iron Mask, a few years back with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Jackie Chan. Jack Black is in one of their movies they just put out called Free LSD. That was on my radar because a good buddy of mine, oh my gosh, I say a good buddy, and then my mind goes blank. Paul Shipper did this awesome poster. It almost looks like it's out of Star Wars. And this movie from Buffalo 8.
Didn't we see him at Great Lakes Comic Con?
I don't think we would have seen him there. He lives, for a while, he was in Australia, but I think he lives in London. So he goes to all the Star Wars celebrations, but I don't think he would go to a smaller.
It's either that or I have something of his. I remember meeting Drew Baker.
I think when we were in Orlando, I think he might have signed our badges for us because he did the artwork on the front or something like that.
He did.
Terrifier 3. Terrifier 3 was #1 3 weeks in a row. And the big hoopla about this movie, it came out the same week as Joker. And no one thought that this psychotic clown was going to beat the box office of the other psychotic clown. And this has just been all the rage. I haven't seen any of the Terrifier movies, but people say they're really good. I mean,
they're good in a number of ways, even if you don't enjoy horror film.
And you've seen it. You just saw the first 2.
Man, that practical effects. Those practical effects are just wild.
Wow. Woman of the Hour. Simultaneously, they had a #1 movie in theaters and the #1 movie on Netflix. It is Anna Kendrick's directorial debut. This is supposed to be really good acting as well. So that is why Buffalo 8 is just a cutting edge company. I wouldn't call them the next A24, but their films have grossed over $4 billion for a small indie film company. That is huge, and they've been growing consecutively during the last 12 years. Every year they grow more and more and more. I believe they tripled in size during the pandemic, which is crazy for a Hollywood studio to do that. Just awesome. I can't rave about them enough. Really quick, let me get into some comments here. Great to hear the film is being released. Thank you, Garth. Can't wait to see it. Thank you so much. And Garth, oh my gosh, the stuff you have been dropping, the Traverse City posters you did, I don't even know which one I like better. I think I like the one with the water better at the bottom. Those are off the hook. They're so good. So anyone that's on Facebook, if you see Garth Glazer here, you need to click on his profile, give him a follow, and check out the incredible artwork. Brittany, I'm feeling better now that I'm home. Thanks for checking. I had to do an EEG for my epilepsy. Being bedridden at the hospital for 5 days was not fun. Oh my gosh, I wouldn't imagine so. I'm glad to hear that you're feeling better though, and that you're home. That's great. Well, thank you for hanging out with us tonight. Tom Savage, looking forward to finally seeing this bud be proud. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh. And we get to see your handiwork as well as the Red Star Slag Warrior. Cannot wait. So excited for the release date. Congratulations. I know, less than 6 weeks away. It is, oh my gosh, it's exciting. Terrifier 1 showed me why everyone talked about it. Terrifier 2 earned my attention, and Terrifier 3 made me a fan. They are messed up, though. Watch them alone, never with anyone who will need to respect you.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I hear. I hear they're off the hook, but I hear they're good movies. I'm curious. I haven't heard yet why they're good movies. Like, do you mean good movies? Like, take away the gore? Like, is it like acting and you're moved by the character arcs and stuff? Like, what do you mean a good movie? Or is it just like if you're into gore, it's a good movie?
It's tough because horror movies are hard to actually have a good story-driven kind of thing because horror follows basic formulas. But no, watch Terrifier, and you as a filmmaker and a director, you'll appreciate how it's executed for sure. I like it more for the visual things they achieved in it without CGI. It is unsettling to say the least, but you know what? There were 3, I believe, Human Centipede movies, and those got banned. They're like,
I didn't know there was 3.
Oh yeah, you can't find Cannibal Holocaust here because that got banned. Quite frankly, Terrifier skirts along that line of what should get banned, but I'm kind of glad it hasn't been yet. It means more people would be exposed to it. I literally convinced a 12-year-old to watch it, and I don't regret that.
You know, I like, for me, there are some horror movies that I think are like, take the horror away, take the blood and guts away. The Sixth Sense is, I feel, is really good. Poltergeist is really good, and Hereditary, for example, is really good. And then there's movies like
Split.
You know what? I've never seen those. They are interesting. The art clown lore is interesting and mysterious. Terrifier is over the top. The actors are meh, but the clown and his nuance are very strong and unique. Hereditary is incredible. Yeah, and you know what I haven't seen yet? I haven't seen, what's the one that takes place all during the day? That's in Sweden or something like that? Oh my gosh.
What?
Midsummer.
Oh.
Haven't seen that yet.
Film?
Midsummer? Yeah, it's supposed to be terrifying.
Oh.
Midsummer, yep.
Okay.
All right, so this is kind of where we left off last week. Tom says skip it. Casey does not want to see it, so that's why I've been waiting for so long. So Tom says it's not horror at all. So here's what was going on. Last week I kind of revealed there were these puzzle pieces, and I just want to go over these really quick. What was happening? So originally, the Buffalo 8 acquisition announcement was going to be announced in one of the trades, like Daily Variety, Hollywood Reporter, the day after Halloween. That kind of got foiled. So then it was going to be the movie poster, the new trailer, and the release date were all going to be, there was going to be an exclusive. And I didn't even know which website. Again, Hollywood Reporter, Daily Variety, had no idea. So I just took a stab and kind of made it just an estimated guess when this was going to happen. And then I went back 12 days before, and then I think more than a week ago, Thursday, like a week and a half ago, I started releasing these puzzle pieces on purpose, sometimes upside down, sometimes turned sideways. So this first one was NAD. Number 2 was Maripes. Then 3 was No. Then 3DR. Which one is this? Am I in? Oh, these are in slightly wrong order, I think. Anyway, Ladondo, Sith, 74, 73. Everyone, I'm sure, can figure that out. V plus T, Ozanum. And I love this one because it looks like it's right side up the way you see Umi, but the logo's upside down. So you kind of, if you could figure it out, Umi's actually upside down in the poster.
So bad at anagrams. I wouldn't have gotten this.
Really?
It would have taken me all week.
And then this one's upright. This one was Rip'em. And then Pleep.
Pleep.
And the last one was Rajon. So the idea was, so you had all these scrambled images here. So putting these together and flipping them around, there's only 12 of them, wouldn't be that hard. But once you have them, each word, it gets unscrambled. And once you have the poster in order, that gives you the order of the words. So when they're all together like this, revealing the poster, it actually says Aladdin 3477 premieres this January 3rd on Apple TV Plus and Amazon Prime. And what started happening, though, I was just going to release one a day, right? A week ago, when I was doing this live stream, I still didn't know when this was going to be announced, where this was going to be announced. And then I believe it was Monday night. So I had 4 of these out, I believe, right? 4 or 5. I can't remember. Anyway, I got the word that Thursday morning at some point, Thursday a.m., Screen Rant was going to be unveiling the exclusive. So I was like, oh my gosh, it's amazing. For one, I thought that was a really, really cool choice. On my publicist's behalf, my publicist, Justin Cook, who we'll be talking about in a future episode, he had the brilliance to give the exclusive instead of the Daily Variety or the Hollywood Reporter or Screen Daily or one of those studio websites that comes out every day. Well, actually, it's updated all the time, obviously. Instead of giving the exclusive to one of those prestigious rags that no one on the internet really reads unless they work in the industry and they're like a higher up executive and they want to see what else is coming out. Interesting. So this is what Columbia Pictures is doing next month. Okay. You know what I mean? Like the rest of the world doesn't really care about that. They're more into the fandom and everything like that. So I really have to commend Justin for having the brilliance to kind of skip all of those, I don't want to call them stuffy rags, but to skip all of those websites and to go right for Screen Rant, where the fans go to get their info. And that really, really was a smart choice. It's been amazing. The feedback has been awesome. So far, people are excited to see it. I'm tickled. What a great choice. I need to. Oh, so anyway, so what started happening Monday night, I was like, oh my gosh, I have 7 more of these to blast out before Thursday morning. So I released another one that night, and then I was releasing like 3 a day. And then I think on Wednesday, I released 4 just to have them all out. Because I wanted people to at least be able to, for anyone that cared or for anyone that was interested what that secret message might be, that they would get to figure it out before it was announced. And I'm happy to say Jessica Pankatai, she was the first to actually piece this together and unscramble the words correctly. There were a bunch of other people that had most of it or a lot of it. And there were even some people that guessed. They didn't have everything figured out, but they were able to guess what the ones that I hadn't released yet, they were able to fill in the blanks. So that was neat for people that put forth the effort. They got the release date and a look at the poster before everyone else. So that was Nito Torpedo. Midsummer is very disturbing to me. I like that. Sometimes I like the disturbing. I don't know. I feel like, I don't know, but I'm not into gore as much. That's why I'm not sure about the Terrifier movies, but disturbing can be cool for sure. Amazon Prime already has the search engine, just doesn't take you anywhere yet. Okay. Interesting.
Oh, interesting.
I will, I'm curious. I will have to look that up. Okay. So now the other big thing that was revealed previously, this was kind of the official poster. I knew when I released this for the Kickstarter, I already had this. The credit block wasn't the same yet because I didn't know who the distributor was. I didn't know who all the executive producers were. I thought this was, and maybe you guys can agree with me, I mean, I think everyone enjoys this poster a lot more. I just felt like this was a really good introduction to Aladdin. It kind of shows you right away this is a futuristic Aladdin, and his sidekick is Fidji. And then if you look closer into his vest and all the dark areas, yeah, you can see a lot of the other characters and stuff. I think this is more what people were expecting from me with the explosion of color and everything else. I'm curious, though. I wanted to get everyone's opinion really quick before moving forward. And that is, this was the original poster. By the way, this is not the first stab at it. There's another poster that I'll unveil sometime that was actually all digitally painted. Buffalo 8 had some really good ideas about what to change. There were some characters. There was actually more characters on here originally. And so they wanted some things a little bit larger and some things a little bit smaller. and just moving a couple things around. I think they made some great choices, but it's I think it would also be interesting later on to show you what I originally put together. Well, once I realized not just when they wanted those changes, but because there were going to be, there's over 40 different pieces of key art for Amazon. There's like, I think there's like 7 or 8 alone just for Apple platforms. And each one has different sizes, or even if it's the same size, sometimes you have to have room for the logo that they put on. You can't put on the logo, they put it on. Or sometimes there has to be room at the bottom for them to click other movies that are similar. There's all different user spaces that they need to have, and it's different for all of them. So in having to create all of the work, a lot of this started to get replaced with digital images that I kind of quickly did a little bit of digital stuff to make them feel a little bit more painted. I also needed to keep the textures unified. So that's when I realized I had to go a lot more digital. That being said, this is the official poster, but it was later. At first, my thinking was the main colors for this film are kind of marigold, yellow, orange, maybe a little bit of red. And so this is what it was. And then I'm always second guessing. I'm always changing. I'm always updating. This is the new one. It's the exact same thing, but it's a little bit more purple. And I don't know. I really like it, but now I'm starting to wonder, like, is that too much? Does it make it feel too busy? Is this one actually better? I'm curious what you guys think. Do you guys like A, it's a little more orangey, or B, a little bit more explosive going into the pinks, violets, and purples? What do you guys think? A with the orange, B with the purple. Brian Zanchelli says B with the purple. All right. Perhaps I made the correct choice. Chantel says B. Okay. Nice. Rachel and I like the purple. Oh, I'm so glad to hear this. All right. I like the purple, says Awesome Insect 100. Thanks for hanging out with us on YouTube. I like the purple, but if the purple was more faded and subtle, I would like it more than the first one. Okay. Yeah. And there is another version of this where I didn't go as strong with the purple, and now kind of seeing it farther away, I'm wishing maybe it was a little bit less. DTE says B helps the Darshana stand out. I think it also brings more attention to the logo. Brittany says A. Okay. The orange one. Whoops. Orange one. Jim, what is going on? Hanging out with us on Facebook. B. Okay. And also, Garth says B with the purple. All right. Well, now I have to stay with B. All right. But purple is my favorite color, says Chantel. All right. I like it. Kyle, what's going on? Hey, man. Can't wait to see the film. Thank you. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight. Per 9. Wade Lundy, what is going on? Oh, my gosh. I haven't seen you or heard from you forever. Thank you for hanging out tonight. B. All right. That's the way to go. My mom, Peggy, says purple. All right. Oh, this makes me feel good. All right. I was starting to second guess it. Purple. Aaron G TV, what is up? As an icon on my phone, B, but I also like poster A. Oh, that's good to hear that you like both. But that's also good to know. I have to get this on my. I have the first one. I have this one on my phone right now. It is time to change it up. All right. So with that, so there's a lot of different versions. This one is kind of for socials. You can see this one here. The purple's a little more subdued. Mm-hmm. It's a little darker. And I think maybe it's not, maybe this is like kind of too colorful, maybe, because I kind of dig this. Anyway, this one's for socials. So the poster obviously was unveiled. The very first drop of any of this, of course, was Screen Rant. They dropped at about 11 a.m. our time, EST in the morning. where you could first watch the trailer. They had it exclusively on their website. Of course, after that, then it's free to the internet, and it just kind of ends up everywhere else. So it was really cool. I just kept refreshing once every like 15 minutes and scrolling through Andor season 2, ending confirmed by creator. The director of Rogue One connection revealed. Super exciting. Yeah, so Screen Rant was the right choice. I'm just so thrilled with that. Then, of course, Buffalo 8 revealed the trailer on their YouTube. I believe they just crossed over. I think they just crossed over 1,000. If not, they're super close views. But a lot of people have also been watching it, not only on Screen Rant's site where they have their own media player, and I don't know what those numbers are, but that's like the first and the biggest place people have seen it. So I don't know what those numbers are. They also released it on their Screen Rant Plus YouTube channel. They also released it on their Instagram. They released it on their TikTok, and I forget what else they have. But and now there's a bunch of other websites that are already dropping the news. So super excited. Haven't heard as much from everyone. I know it's very similar to the first trailer, but it's shorter, it's tighter. There's a lot of new shots, and there's a lot of alternate takes or a lot of alternate kind of shots. So I'm curious what you guys think of the trailer, or were you guys kind of hoping for something brand spanking new? I'm curious what you guys thought. I love it. I feel like it's just a little bit more pulse pounding, a little bit more energy, just a little bit tighter than the first. Kyle says the purple is better, makes the logo stand out and gives a unique feel to the poster. Awesome. Is there a specific piece of key art you suggest for informal promotion, or just go blast out the poster? That's a great question. Do you mean informal promotion? You mean like if you have a project or a product that you are putting out there for people to see? I assume maybe that's what you're asking. Here's what I would suggest, what I would try to do as you're building up your audience. There still are cool things you can do. Now, you don't have to get as crazy as, putting out little pieces like this and it's a puzzle for people to solve. Because if you don't have a huge following yet, if you don't have diehard fans yet, no one's going to know, no one's really going to care. This, I, to my knowledge, I think I only had 3 or 4 people that were really trying to actively put this all together. There's a couple people just here and there. If they saw it, they would take a guess, but not as many people. And I don't have a huge following. So, I don't know if that's what I would suggest, but you still could do something like show a little piece of the poster, and you could say 1 week from today, and then 3 days beforehand, show another little piece 3 days from now, and then tomorrow, So there's some different things you could do to try to build up hype with the people that are in your circles. A lot of different ways that you can do it. I'm taking my time on the final project. Brian, that is good to hear. It's an epic final project in my pre-viz storyboarding class. I cannot wait to see what you got going on. Like if I were to talk about it on stream. Oh, yeah. And by the way, DTE, I need to get with you sooner, but next week, if you would like to be on the live stream, next week is a great one. The Thanksgiving episode. Absolutely. I'm going to want to have a number of images for you to share about your book that's available now on Amazon. So we'll be chatting about that for sure. Premise Land, yodels, brodels on a brioche bun. Am I saying that right, James? Brioche. Is that how you say it? A brioche bun with brisket and barbecue sauce. That's a lot of bees, but I am in it. That sounds good. I like that. Brittany says, I like the purple. However, the purple in the top corners are a bit too dark, in my opinion. I agree with that. I think it needs to lighten up just a little bit. Premise Land will be right back. DTE says 100% working on the slides. Oh, yeah. Keep in mind, you can kind of see the format here is 1080 by 1920 is kind of the size. So anytime something is taller, like a movie poster, you've got all the white space on the sides, but anytime you've got something a little bit longer, it just fills up a little bit more and you can see it a little bit better. Okay, so we talked about the posters here. We talked about Screen Rant. We talked about the trailer. Let's chat about January 3rd. Oh my gosh, I am so excited about this. So there's something kind of interesting about this date, and I didn't get a chance. I didn't even, no, I knew the release date a week ago, but we didn't talk about it yet because it wasn't announced. Here is the crazy thing about January 3rd. I've always wanted to have a date in mind that could be the official Aladdin 3477 date, just a day of the year that people associate with the property. So for example, everyone knows Star Wars Day is May the 4th, and that's awesome. I mean, May is usually when the Star Wars films are released, but more importantly, May the 4th sounds like May the 4th be with you, right? The official day of the year for Super Mario is March 10th. And the reason why is when you put the abbreviation for March, MAR 10, when you look at that together, it looks like it says Mario. So March 10th is Super Mario Day, which is great. Now listen, Aladdin 3477, obviously it's not anywhere near Star Wars or Super Mario. People haven't even seen the movie yet. And here I am already like, there should be an official date. Like, we need to know what this date is. So listen, I have no delusions about that, but I've always wondered if it did get big enough where it warranted, what's a day of the year that would be the official day of Aladdin 3477? Well, the problem that I had before is 3477, like, could that be March 34th at 7 o'clock? Like, that doesn't really work. There is no month 34. Like, there's just no way to kind of work with those numbers. It's too many numbers. So how can I do a day, or the numbers are higher than we have months? What can I do? How can I have an official day? Well, guess what? I have a day now because 2 years ago, when I made the first big push for Aladdin 3477. Now, prior to when the Kickstarter was released, I had shared a couple images online. Everything was cricket. No one was interested in me making an Aladdin 3477 movie. But on the day that I started sharing major images and also footage of what the films look like, that's suddenly when everything changed and a lot of people were interested in seeing the film. That day was January 3rd, 2023. 2023. So that was a huge day. That was a huge day. People might say, oh, when the trailer came out 2 weeks later, that was also a big day. But really, the first big kapowie was January 3rd. Okay. Part two. A few months ago, when the movie hadn't gone through quality control yet, and I started wondering, like, when are these movies going to come out? And I started wondering, like, oh my gosh, if these movies come out in the fall, that's going to be tough because that's right when my son is being born. Like, that's really going to be tricky. But then I was like, ooh, Halloween, like, I don't want to get lost in the Halloween shuffle. And then Christmas, like, oh my gosh, no one, unless it's a Christmas movie, no one really watches other kinds of movies during Christmas. Like, gosh. So without thinking about the Kickstarter, I was just like, January, early January would be amazing. People are done watching Christmas movies, and no one puts out movies early January. It's always like summer blockbusters in May, and sometimes during Christmas, like families sometimes get together and go to the movies. That way they don't have to talk to each other. But early January, not as much, and I've never really known why. Now I know why, because when here's what happened. So I looked on a calendar and I said, you know what? And not even thinking about when the Kickstarter came out. I kind of looked, I knew it would be on a Friday. And I said, gosh, first week of January, January 3rd, that would be perfect. If I could choose a date, and I don't know if I get to choose a date, January 3rd would be amazing. So it was September at some point, and I got an email from Buffalo 8, and they said, hey, congratulations. We passed quality control with Apple, which means you pass with everything. If you're good enough to be on Apple, the quality control for everything is as good or lower than that. So it was like, oh my gosh, yay. Yeah. And they said, listen, we already had a meeting. We are trying to find the perfect release date for Aladdin 3477. Curious what your thoughts are. We would really like to release the film on January 3rd. I was like, really? Like, oh my gosh, if I could choose a date of the 365 days, January 3rd is what I was thinking. Oh my gosh. Story doesn't end there. So then when I was trying to figure out who the publicist was, because we had options, one of the publicists we almost went with was really into the project, but said, do not like January 3rd. You guys really need to change this. And I think that might even be why this publicist backed out. They hate January 3rd. And I said, why? It's perfect. No one puts out movies and everything else. And I never knew this. He said, yeah, you know why no one puts out movies and products then? Because behind the scenes, people that work in publicity and also people that write content for websites like Screen Rant, they're all on vacation. They're all spending time. They're all taking time off, spending time with their family for the holidays. He said, it is suicide for the film. Don't do it. Worst time to put out a movie. But I said, you know what? I'm going to double down. I think that's exactly why. It's the reason to do it, because no one else is as dumb as we are. If no one else is putting out movies, for the few people that are picking up some extra bucks and doing extra hours, this is how writers and publicists and people that update content for websites, I imagine this is how they type on the keyboard. No one, for them that are trying to pick up the extra bucks, there's no news. No one else is putting out movies, but we are.
So you're going to be Chili's. Maybe Chili's during that dead air agreement for Ukraine, and then they drop like a commercial for Chili's.
Is there a joke about that on the internet? I've never heard that before.
Okay, remember when Ukraine was like, they had a live feed of Ukraine, and they all agreed, like, hey, we're not going to release any kind of ads, whatever. Like, respectfully, let's let this be a moment, basically a day of silence. And I was like, yeah, okay, cool. And Chili's like swept in, like, hey, we're gonna do it anyway because no one else is doing it. And then you see this war-torn, gray, smoldering buildings, and all of a sudden, barbecue ribs or something, like a cowboy in the background, like in the upper corner, and Chili's launched an ad.
Well, we are gonna be the Chili's. We're doing it anyway. I did talk it over with Buffalo 8, and they agreed. They said, no, January 3rd is great. We're going to do January 3rd. Okay. So then it wasn't until like a month after that when I was kind of writing things on a calendar, and I was like, January 3rd? Oh my gosh. January 3rd is when we released the Kickstarter 2 years ago. How amazing is that? I think it was on a Tuesday, though. I think we skipped ahead because we had leap year. Oh my gosh, how wild is that? So listen, no delusions. I'm not expecting that there's ever going to be an official Aladdin 3477 day on a calendar where people actually celebrate it. But
I will.
Just in case, in a world of possibilities, and also this will be a cool thing. I'm going to try to come up with something big with news or whatever. We still have 2 more movies coming out. January 3rd. Will officially be Aladdin 3477 date. This is just me dreaming really big. I know I have no delusions here.
You're a dreamer. I respect that.
I am the dreamer. All right, so DTE already got covered. All right, awesome. Come on, January 3rd, hoping to see the film here in Jacksonville. Awesome. It'll definitely be available in Jacksonville. And I know it seems like it's next year, but it's less than 3 weeks away. Premise Land, what's up, Ted? I figured because it's January is close to Jinn and you get 3 wishes, but your reasons are better. Oh my gosh, we should call it January.
Yeah.
Ted, that is amazing. Oh my gosh. I should have you as part of the marketing team. Oh my gosh. That is fantastic. January. I need to write that.
Yeah, this is not the same January I was celebrating 3 years ago.
Hold on. Ted, yeah, if you've got more gold, you need to share with me. I'm just going to write right here. January. Boom. That's going to be a thing. All right. Let's see. Let's go through some comments here. No. Jinn 3rd, brilliant premise land. Yeah, that is brilliant. Wild on the date. Yeah, that couldn't even been. I didn't even realize till like a month later. Everything falls into place. It really does. Serendipitous. Sometimes you have. You just have poo-poo convention. I actually got hit up by someone today that wants us to come out to a convention to promote the film. It's in Michigan. It's in Caro, Michigan. I looked it up. It's kind of by Frankenmuth.
Oh, okay.
December 15th. I have to look at the calendar. There might be some other stuff going on.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I'm wondering if that might be a good test drive to see how things go. Aaron GTV says genius on January.
Yeah, genius.
I think that's and in the future we'll have like all month long we'll have something with the Jinn. What could we have? A new quote each day, a quote of wisdom that blasts out, and maybe we can get Aaron to narrate each one and share these chocolate morsels of wisdom.
He just starts making ones up.
I like it. So the next thing that people want to know, January 3rd, we're going to talk about the streaming services and everything, but everyone wants to know, I live in a certain country. Can I see this film? Now, eventually, just so you know, I don't know exactly when, but at some point, it is going to be worldwide. And no matter where you live, there will be some way that you can see this film. But at first, come January 3rd, I thought there was 66 countries. It's actually 67. Are you interested in knowing which countries you'll be able to see the film?
No, my pants just got 6 inches short because I hated the idea.
So here they are in no particular order. These are the 67 countries you'll be able to see the Jinn of Wisdom on January 3rd. We have the United States, the United Kingdom, which is Ireland, England, Wales, and why am I forgetting the other one? Scotland, right? Canada. I don't know why Ireland is on here again.
Trinidad's on there.
Belgium, Bulgaria, which I didn't know until recently was in Europe as well. Czech Republic, Denmark, Finland, Greece, Hungary. I know all my friends in Germany are like, how come Germany isn't on here? It's in Hungary. Again, eventually it'll be worldwide. Norway, Poland, Portugal, Slovakia, Slovenia, Sweden, Bahamas, Bermuda, British Virgin Islands, Dominica, Cayman Islands, Cambodia. Now, this is really cool because when the movie begins, when you first see Aladdin 3477, the movie begins in the year 3472. Yes, 3472 in the Kingdom of Cambodia. That's where the film begins. So there's some scenes in Cambodia. People that live in Cambodia are going to get to see this film on January 3rd. Very exciting. Indonesia. Indonesia is one of the places I've never been, but I've always wanted to go there, especially for Aladdin 3477. It really has that Hindu vibe that I absolutely love. So I still want to go there someday. The Philippines, the Federated States of Micronesia. I'm not even sure where that is. Malaysia, very cool. Mongolia, Vietnam, Lao People's Democratic Republic.
Makes sense.
That's just China, right? Or is that specifically?
Laos is different.
It's different. Sri Lanka, Israel, Armenia, Anguilla. All right, now we're getting into places I don't know if I'm pronouncing these right. Antigua and Barbuda, Belize. Is it Grenada or Grenada? It's Grenada, right?
Whichever.
Grenada, tomato. Belarus, St. Kitts and Nevis, Trinidad, Tobago, Cyprus, Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, Luxembourg, Malta, Moldova, Brunei Darussalam. Now, we don't have Kazakhstan. So I know
Borat can't see this film.
Borat's going to be upset until it goes worldwide. But we do have Tajikistan, Turkmenistan, Azerbaijan, Botswana, Cape Verde, Gambia, Guinea-Bissau, Mauritius, Mozambique, Nambia, Niger. I've seen this on a map before. Zwala. How do you say that? Swaziland?
I just like watching you do it.
Watching me just murder all of these. Oh my gosh. Uganda and Zimbabwe.
You're telling me Zimbabwe gets this film, but Germany somehow does.
I don't know. I don't make the rules.
I don't make the rules.
Yeah. Anyway, super exciting. Klepto King needs his beauty sleep for the 9 to 5 Mondays. Oh, congratulations on the release, bro. We'll chat. We'll see if there's a way to get you on at some point if it's past your bedtime. Awesome Insect 100 says that makes sense. The more dedicated publicists are probably also going to look for more indie projects. So I feel like it's a date for its release. Yeah, there's something. Also, this publicist said a lot of other weird things that kind of made no sense to me. This publicist said January 3rd, dude, people are still watching Christmas movies at that point. And I was like, wait a minute. I know people that are obsessed with Christmas movies, the Hallmark movies and everything. Really, I can see people maybe still putting Christmas movies on in the background between Christmas and New Year's. But as soon as it's New Year's, and I know people leave their tree up, but people are still watching Christmas movies in January.
Jingle All the Way knows no limitations.
Okay, well, maybe that's an exception, but otherwise, I don't know. I don't see it. Against the grain is how you do it. You know what? I have to agree. I talk about The Purple Cow, which is this great book written by Seth Godin. Amazing book. And have we talked about The Purple Cow, James?
I enjoy the ice cream.
The Purple Cow, for people that live in the area, there's Meyer, which they used to have a restaurant called The Purple Cow way back in the day. Have we talked about in advertising and stuff what The Purple Cow is?
Nope.
Okay, real quick, because this is amazing, and I'm throwing you guys some pearls. So normally you have things that are very similar that do really well. So when you think of fast food restaurants, what are the main colors? Well, when you think about McDonald's, Wendy's, Burger King, Little Caesars, it's all the warm colors, right? So it's yellow, orange, red. It's inviting. And it's when you see food surrounded by warm colors, it can even be fast food slop. But if it's surrounded by warm colors, it's just inviting and it's like comfort food, right? Well, White Castle is what we call the Purple Cow. And you might be like, why do we call it the Purple Cow? Okay. So Seth Godin, who is the mastermind of marketing, and he's written all of these books. They're all New York Times bestsellers. I've read Most of them, I haven't read all of them. They're short. They're really quick to read. They're all amazing. But with the purple cow, what happened? He was traveling through France with his family, and his kids were sitting in the back seat. They each had a device. One was watching movies on like an iPad, and the other was playing Nintendo DS or something like that. And they were traveling through the French countryside, and he looks and he sees a cow over on one of the hills. And he says, "Kids, look, a cow." And and he can see in the back seat, he's got a monitor, right? They drop their portable devices and they're like, where? And they look and they see the cow and like, oh my gosh, because I mean, it's just a cow, but this is a cow in France, right? They see, oh yeah, it's cool. So they go back to their devices pretty quickly, and he's right. He sees another cow. "Kids, look, another cow." And they're like, yeah, Dad. And then it drives again, and then he sees like, gosh, like, what can I do to get them interested? Oh, here's a black one. "Kids, look, it's a black cow." They don't even look up. They're just like, yeah, that's amazing, Dad. That, you know, they don't even look up. So Seth thought, what can I do to get my kids interested and away from their devices? What would it take? So just on a whim, there's no cows anywhere, but on a whim, he looks over and he says, "Hey kids, check it out, a purple cow." They drop their devices. "What? Where is it? Dad, I don't see the purple. Dad, where's the purple cow? I need to see it," right? So that's why in a sea of fast food places that all use the warm colors and it works, White Castle, obviously disgusting colors. It's like not even warm white and not even just blue. It's like sterile hospital white and royal blue. It's like dark blue.
Same as Culver's.
Culver's is mostly blue, but a brighter blue, a little bit like a royal blue. And so I would agree, though, that's purple cow as well. But have you ever noticed where a lot of times when people are hanging out and like, "Hey, let's get some food. I'm hungry." "Yeah, I'm hungry too." "You want McDonald's?" "I don't want McDonald's." "You want Burger King?" "Burger King's too expensive." "Do you want Little Caesars?" "We had Little Caesars for lunch." "I don't know. Do you guys want White Castle?" And that's where people usually stop and go, because they want something different today. White Castle. And that is how White Castle gets their business. They know they're never going to be at the top, but they can be the purple cow, and that works for them, even though the one just by us got bought out by a savvy sliders. Okay. Anyway, so the purple cow, against the grain. That is how you do it. I agree, Wade. Hey, Marissa, how you doing? Hi, cuz. Congrats. Great seeing you. Thanks for hanging out. January gold. I have to agree. Absolute gold. Premise Land, I am trying to leave this job, so let me know. Oh my gosh, if I could afford to have a full-time genius marketing person, that would be it. Cairo, Michigan, I don't think so. Oh, Cairo, Michigan would be perfect. I think it's just Cairo, Michigan. That would be amazing, though. Spain, not at first. It's in Portugal, but a couple months later, it'll be worldwide, and it'll absolutely be in Spain. Oh my gosh, Casey and I last year were in. I wanted to come hang out with family, but we were part of a cruise and we didn't have time. I did look it up, and Uncle Dale was, I think, 12 hours from where we were, so we wouldn't have had time to go there and go back. But we went to Barcelona. Oh my gosh. And we also went to, I forget the name of an island that we went to, but Barcelona was such a cool, I was not expecting, not that I wasn't expecting Spain to be amazing, but Barcelona is my jam. Like that's my, oh my gosh, it's so artsy cool. Oh, no Spain for Uncle Dale, yet Portugal. Yeah, I don't make the rules. I don't know. I don't know why. But it'll be there. Months later, it'll be everywhere.
Are we doing theatrical or no?
I'm gonna chat about that. I am gonna chat about that soon. I'm sure. I was gonna joke if Botswana or Burkina Faso were on the list. I have to settle for one of two. It is on there. Botswana is one of them. All right, Premise Land is coming back. Okay, so the next thing is the streaming services that we are on at first. And there's quite a few of them. And there's going to be more. But this is the first phase. I'm going to talk about these phases and how it works. First up is Apple TV Plus. This one I was really excited about because this is the cat's pajamas. This is in terms of quality. And when I say quality, it's not even necessarily like acting and everything else. But the editing has to be good. The resolution has to be good. The sound has to be good. People's voices can't be cracking out or redlining or anything like that. It's got to be really, really good. And there were things we had to go back and forth on, but usually it wasn't anything technical. Any of the things got flagged were actually creative choices I made, and they just wanted to make sure. A quick example was there was a scene or two where people are just mouthing something out. They're on purpose. They're not even saying anything. They're just like, and then you couldn't hear their voice. Well, they weren't saying anything, but that got flagged. And then there was another couple times where sometimes characters have like robot voices, and sometimes it says what they're saying on the bottom, and then sometimes it doesn't. So that got flagged. Hey, how come this person has subtitles sometimes, but then doesn't other times? Well, sometimes, like if you watch a Star Wars film, not every droid needs to have it. And then sometimes, even if they have it in some places, it's just a little redundant. If a droid gets blasted and they go like, and you subtitled something they said before, if you put a subtitle when they get blasted and flail away, I mean, what are you going to write down? Like, ouch, that really hurt. You know what I mean? Or like zoinks.
Or that screech R2 makes when. Like,
yeah. Like, oh no. Like I feel like that can kind of cheese it up. And it also is taking away from the screen and making people read something unnecessary when they can, it's pretty obvious. So it was just like things like that. So once we got into that, that opened the doors for a lot of other places, including Amazon Prime. Woo. Fandango at home. And some people might be wondering, or maybe you were or used to be on Vudu. Vudu, I think, was owned by Fandango at some point. They bought them out, and slowly they've just transitioned all of that to Fandango at home. So I'm not even sure Vudu exists anymore. I almost didn't put this slide on, but a couple people were asking if it was on Vudu. So that's why I put that on there, because technically it kind of is, but I think that is all Fandango at the moment. Google Play. Have you ever watched anything on Google Play?
No, I read a lot of things on Google Play.
Oh, so it's like websites and stuff? Or
no,
is it?
I have like a digital bookshelf with all the stuff on there.
I see. That kind of makes sense. Okay, don't laugh. My PNG isn't working here, so you can see the screen behind it. iTunes. Now, some of you might be saying, iTunes, wait, Apple TV Plus, why would it be on iTunes? iTunes, Apple TV, and Apple TV Plus are all different things.
Even Plus is different from Apple TV?
Yes. Oh. And I'm going to talk about those differences in a moment, but they all kind of get funneled to the same place. So they're different, yet they're kind of the same. I'm going to get into that. Hoopla. I had no idea what Hoopla was until this, but I've mentioned it to a couple people and they know all about it. So Hoopla is in libraries. And if you have a library card, most libraries have Hoopla. So what's cool is if you have Hoopla, you can watch this or rent it for free. And what's interesting, we get paid for it, and probably don't get paid a lot, but it's the library that pays us, and you don't have to pay anything. You get to watch it for free because your library is hooking you up. That is amazing. Super, super cool that we're on that. Now we start getting into stuff I don't know anything about. Verizon Fios. Is that just like watching movies on your phone or something like that? Do you ever do that, James?
No, I didn't even realize Verizon had a thing. But
like for movies and stuff? Yeah. I did not know that either. Vubiquity. Now we're getting into cable. So there's some cable stations. So there's Charter Communications.
It's like Northern Michigan heavy.
Is it?
Yeah, it's like one of the most easily hacked things.
Oh.
But whatever, old people will see this movie.
Okay. Spectrum. I know Spectrum is pretty big. I don't think it's big here, but I think around the rest of.
Yeah, everywhere else it's pretty.
Is it? Okay.
It's sizable.
Does anyone have Cox? James raised his hand. I know there's a better joke in there somewhere, but apparently Cox is one of the cable services. Xfinity is like the big one here. Obviously, it used to be Comcast. So you can see it there as well. All right. So with all of these, so a lot of people may be asking, how does this work? Some people are asking, do you have to pay for it? And the answer is yes. I'll talk about the how and the why in a moment. But the first thing people are asking is, with all of these choices, all of these services, some of you that maybe want to support, you guys might be asking, which one should I watch it on? Which one helps you the most? Well, first of all, any way that you, at first, in this first phase is what we call, which is best. The first phase is called TVOD. So it's a video on demand. It's TVOD, which is for transactional video on demand. That means with most cases at first, except for one, it means you have to pay for it. Now, hold your horses. I know you're like, oh my gosh, I hate that. When I have a subscription, I already pay for Amazon Prime. I already pay for Apple TV. Now I have to pay for the movie. Why do they do that? Well, it's the first phase. This is what they often do at first for a lot of films. Also, you'll be happy to know a lot of times when they put movies out, they usually are anywhere from $19.99, like right after it comes out in a theater. Sometimes it's $24.99. They will really milk it. You'll be happy to know there is a range, and the cost is at the most $7.99, at the least $3.99, depending on some variables. Yes, you have to pay for it. The one exception is Hoopla. So if you have a library card and you can get access to the Hoopla account, you can watch this movie for free. The reason why it's still TVOD is because Buffalo 8 still gets paid for watching it, but it's the library that's covering it instead of you, which is awesome. So yes, you'll have to pay for it. Don't quote me on these. I think these are the final numbers. I think there might be something with a pre-order, which I'm going to get to, that ties in with a charity. I don't have official details on that yet, but I think the official numbers are, if you want to own the film, so you can watch it as many times as you want for years to come. If you want to own the film in HD, which is really, really nice quality, as you probably know, it's $7.99. $8, you own it forever. You can watch it all the time. If you only want it in SD, so SD is standard definition, that's like DVD quality, which is still pretty good. If you watch all your movies on your phone, I don't know why you do that, but if you watch your movies on your phone, your phone probably has HD quality. But if you really just want to watch, if you don't really care about that, you could own it in SD, and I believe that's only $5.99. Then you could rent the film. I believe renting the film, you can only watch it once, or maybe you have like a 48-hour period that you can watch it as many times as you want. That, if you want to rent it in HD, I believe it is $4.99 in HD quality, high definition. And then if you want to rent it in standard def, which is DVD quality, that is $3.99. We're talking about $4 here. Now, by the way, that $4 goes to Buffalo 8. A percentage goes to me. I have a sales agent that I have to give a percentage to, and a lot of these places don't pay a lot. So it's really just the numbers, like how many people are actually going to watch this. That's where, if there ever was a profit margin, and who knows if there ever will be, I'm not as worried about that. And I'm definitely not doing this for the money. This is my magnum opus art project. But at first it is going to cost a few dollars. That's just the way it is. Some of you might be asking, okay, any way you slice it, which is the best? What is the best way to see this film? I do have an answer. The answer is Apple. Apple TV Plus, iTunes, Apple TV. That is the best way to see it. And I'll tell you why. For one, the resolution is going to be great. The streaming, like, it isn't going to lag any of that stuff. But there's an even more important reason why Apple TV, if you have it, or if you have iTunes, or if you have Apple TV Plus, there's a reason why that's the most important. And that is something new. The movie comes out on January 3rd. The pre-order date for Aladdin 3477 is December 20th. So it's 5 days before Christmas. This is the first day that you can pre-order on Apple TV Plus, Apple TV, and iTunes. There is a reason why the push is for Apple if you have it. Really, I just want you to see the movie. But if you have options and you have a few of these that you can watch it on, my choice would be Apple. Here's the reason why. Apple does not pay the most. That is not the reason. But for the most part, because we're not a huge studio that has expensive handshakes that we're able to do with a lot of these streaming services, this is not the kind of film when you open up Amazon Prime or Apple TV on January 3rd, you're not going to instantly see Aladdin 3477 across the screen out today.
We're gonna get a banner.
It'll have a banner for sure, but not right when you open Amazon Prime. Amazon Prime is going to have the new Lord of the Rings thing that they spent millions of dollars on, or out today, a new Marvel movie that was just in theaters or something like that. However, so the way that you will find these, if you keep scrolling and maybe new sci-fi movies, like it'll pop up there, new fantasy, maybe new action adventure. Obviously, if you just go to search and start typing in Aladdin, obviously it's going to pop up then. But there is one thing that may happen, and that is on Apple TV, Apple TV Plus, and iTunes. During this window, and I think into the first week, if we can get 500 people or more to pre-order or watch this film on any Apple device or product, we will automatically go into their new and noteworthy section. And that does come up right away. Oh. And so that's, again, it's not something we pay for, but in order to compete with the big peeps, we have to get in on that pre-order. So that's the big thing that we're trying to do. I don't know if we can do it. I know we're going to have well more than 500 people watching this on day one, but are we going to have more than 500 on Apple devices? I don't know. That's going to be the big push.
I've never found myself in the position to push an Apple product, but for your sake, Matt, I will try.
Well, here's how it works. Some of you might be saying, okay, what's the difference? Apple TV Plus, Apple TV, and iTunes. What's the difference? Like, what's going on with these? Okay. So it started obviously with iTunes. So it was music, and then it got into movies, and sometimes if I'm renting something and I want to watch it in my home theater, I have Apple TV that pushes it over there. But sometimes I'm working and I just want to watch it on my computer. So sometimes it's easier for me just to go into iTunes, rent it if it's not free on one of the other services. Again, for just a few dollars, I can buy it and I can watch it on my computer. I have a 27-inch screen, so it's not like a giant movie screen, but you can see it pretty clearly. So that was kind of the first way. Then Apple TV came out with a device. Now, the way Apple TV, and the reason why this is cool is your Apple TV device, you can access iTunes, you can kind of access what's on Apple TV, but also you can access your computer. So, for example, this was really cool during the time we were filming Aladdin 3477. I was able to make rough edits on my computer, and then through Apple TV, what I was doing, I was putting them on my home account for like home movies and stuff in iTunes. I was able to bounce them to Apple TV, and then we would watch it on the big screen in my my little home theater over there. Then obviously to compete against Netflix and Disney Plus and everything else, they eventually came out with Apple TV Plus. So the difference with Apple TV Plus is even if you don't have Apple TV, which is the physical device, even if you don't have iTunes, which is like if you have an iPhone, like your music and everything, you could still pay for the Apple TV Plus app. So this is where all of the shows like Shrinking, Ted Lasso, those are free when you subscribe to Apple TV Plus. And they have a bunch of things like if you buy certain products, sometimes you get Apple TV Plus anyway, I think. So they're all kind of the same thing. So some of you might be asking, well, wait a minute. So you need 500 people on Apple TV Plus? What if I have iTunes, or what if I have Apple TV, but I don't have Apple TV Plus? Doesn't matter. Any three of these, if we can get 500 people between iTunes, Apple TV, or Apple TV Plus pre-ordering, then they will put us in their new and noteworthy section. And that just means more people will see it, which means more people will watch it. The more people will see it, and then who knows?
Apple a day keeps obscurity away.
That is exactly it. So that's why the big push is for Apple TV. Let's see, where are we here? Congratulations. Thank you so much on the release. Awesome. And hey, I can't wait to be on your Battlestar Galactica podcast. And in fact, I am drinking out of my Cylon Centurion glass today. How about that? Ted is back with us, and he says, I like Culver's. Yeah, Culver's has... I don't know that I've ever had food at Culver's and I've been like, oh my gosh, it's amazing. But I mean, it's good. And they got ice cream and
cheese curds, concrete mixers,
yeah, cheese curds,
mushroom and Swiss burger, where they push the mushrooms into the meat.
Is it actually better than, say, Dairy Queen that has a lot of that stuff? Oh, it is? All right. I stand corrected.
Like, I would run into a Culver's to save an employee from a burning building. I wouldn't run into a Dairy Queen. I'd save the dilly bars before I save the employee.
Oh my gosh.
Don't quote me on that. That is off the record.
Into the Aladdin verse. Oh, I like that. Good. Yeah. A cheese curds. Yep. All right. So next up. Okay. So we're talking a little bit, just so you guys know, like, what's the difference? So what are all these different, these are phases. Like, why can't everything come out at once? And is it ever going to be in movie theaters? Like, what's going on with all that? Okay, well, this is kind of, for those of you that don't know, let me just kind of explain how this works a little bit. So the first phase, and this is not always the first phase with how films come out, but you're starting to see this a lot more where the first phase is TVOD, and this stands for Transactional Video on Demand. So there's three different kinds of VOD services, and they're not always released in this order, but let's talk about them. So there's SVOD, TVOD, and AVOD. And I think usually the way you usually see it, some of the bigger movies, again, Marvel movies, Star Wars, things like that, probably go in this order: SVOD, TVOD, AVOD. The rest of movies that aren't like a huge blockbuster, it's probably TVOD, SVOD, and AVOD. So let's talk about these. So first, we'll just go in the order they have. SVOD, that's subscription video on demand. And if I go to the next slide here, this kind of gives examples. So subscription-based video on demand, that's like Netflix, Hulu, Amazon, HBO Go. That's where you subscribe and you automatically get everything for free.
Is HBO Go different from HBO Max?
Yeah, this might be a little bit older, so that's the same thing. I think they just changed it to HBO Max. And it might be for a while that HBO Go was slightly different. Like that might have been only on the computer and then it went to TV or something like that. But it changed for some reason. And I don't remember exactly. I used to know, but I can't remember what the difference was. Okay, so that's SVOD. Will we have SVOD? I know that we
get tested for that.
There's a branch for it, but I don't know that we're going to do that. part of the reason why SVOD is starting to disappear. Now, SVOD is obviously still Netflix. Obviously, it's still Disney Plus, which should be on here. Obviously, Hulu is like that. But what you're starting to see, Amazon, what you're starting to see is places like Hulu, places like Amazon. When you go there, it used to be everything was free. I'm paying for this service. Now, when you go to Amazon, the first thing you see, like they'll have brand new movies and you have to pay for them. TVOD, what's up with that? I thought, what am I even paying for? You keep scrolling. Where's the free stuff? Where's the free stuff? Well, then you get free with ads. Well, I'm paying for the subscription. What the heck, right? So even though it's SVOD, sure doesn't feel like it's SVOD, right? So the game is kind of constantly changing. And again, it's these bigger companies grabbing dollars. Oh, you're subscribing? Well, hey, what about still paying for? How can we get more money? And then Hulu,
customers.
Hulu, everything used to be for free. Well, now it's free with ads. You don't want the ads? Pay just a little. It's just another couple bucks a month, you know?
The whole point of streaming was to get away from commercials and televised like structure. And here we are going back to
we're back to cable.
I mean, yeah, I like commercials with dogs as much as the next person, but come on, man. I just want to watch a movie.
So TVOD, as we've discussed, this is where I'd say most movies are probably starting with this now. And that is viewers can access content on a pay-per-view basis. So you're paying for it either to own, a little bit more to own it, a little bit less to rent it. And again, everything is data, right? So you're paying a little bit more for HD, a little bit less for SD. Some people don't care. Some people just want to see the movie and get the gist of it. They don't care if they're watching DVD quality.
We're back to pay-per-view.
Yeah, so I mean, kind of. So examples of TVOD would be iTunes. Okay, so that's a really good example where SVOD would be mostly Apple TV Plus, but TVOD would be iTunes, although obviously some of these are interchangeable. Google Play is TVOD. Amazon Prime, you see this in both, obviously. YouTube. So sometimes people put stuff for free on YouTube. So YouTube would, and you can see here, YouTube is also AVOD, but a lot of movies you can watch on YouTube. But again, you're paying the extra bucks for it. Okay, so another phase that we are going to have, and I don't yet know if this is the next phase or not, but another phase that's going to be happening in just months is AVOD. And AVOD is free access to all content with the interspersion of ads. Buzzkill, right?
Okay.
So it's going to have ads, but it's going to be free. And then we make a little coin just because of the sponsors, the ads, obviously. So examples of that here, this is probably a little bit older, but examples would be Hulu is like that now, unless you have Hulu Plus. YouTube is like that. If you kind of put something for free, it's still going to have ads. Crackle, I've never watched anything on Crackle.
I forgot about Crackle.
Another example, some people were asking about Tubi. Tubi is like a big one that's AVOD. So I don't yet have a list for AVOD. It's a pretty good guess that will be on Tubi, but none of that has been 100% confirmed yet. So I don't have any of these. I don't have anything that I can say for sure that we're going to be on. I can only say for sure we are doing AVOD. We'll be getting to that. The other thing that was kind of a buzzkill, I had asked, when we get to AVOD, do we get to choose where the commercials are? And with the exception of one place, the answer is no, you never get to choose. Now, they might use AI to try to go through the film and maybe try to figure out where the good places would be. So it isn't just like someone chatting and halfway through the sent bounty, and then it's louder, right? And then as soon as it cuts back, the person finishes the sentence.
But you have to turn the volume up so you missed it.
Yeah. You have to go back, and it's just, it's a mess, right?
Jokes on YouTube, I use a video ad blocker. skips all the.
And you don't have to pay for
It's just a free add-on because everyone's sick of ads on YouTube. But if it gets coined to you, Matt, I will turn the blocker off.
Well,
Aladdin 3470.
We're talking about pennies here.
Oh.
Either way, I mean, obviously it's appreciated, but honestly, it's it really does not pay a lot. No complaints. I'm just thrilled the movie's coming out, and on some of these really cool streaming services. I'm just thrilled, and I can't wait for everyone to see it. I know everyone's going to love it. So AVOD is going to happen. So there is one streaming service where you get to choose, and that is, I believe, Pluto. You get to choose.
Oh, you're on Pluto?
Oh, I don't know any of the AVOD. Honestly, I don't know. I the only reason I know that, honestly, is because I asked if there are any AVOD, if we get to choose where the commercials are, and the answer was the only one that lets you do that is Pluto. So I don't even know confirmed if we're going to be, and I also don't know which phase AVOD will be, but I do know that we are going to be doing that.
Hey, Pluto's cool. Like, there's a whole channel of just nothing but Godzilla films at one point.
Awesome. Okay, so AVOD is going to be one of the next phases. I just don't know which one. Next up is Blu-ray, and I know my Kickstarter backers are excited about this. The ones that are getting the Blu-ray and DVD, I believe they're going to be coming out at the same time. So one of the phases is going to be physical media, but I don't know when that'll be, if it's going to be this next or if it goes to AVOD next. I don't have anything official on that yet. Next, people are wondering, movie premiere, like, are we, like, here in Michigan, are we going to get to see it? And like, oh my gosh, so it's premiering on streaming? What about movies? What about movies? Well, things are a little bit different. It's a changing landscape, and it's not that we aren't going to do it. We are, but I don't yet know when it is going to happen, but it's just not the way it's going to happen. First, I know it seems like a bummer, but the changing landscape is strike when the iron's hot. Streaming is the way to do it. That way people can see it around the world, and it is it's easier access for everyone. It's, even though it's not a lot of money, it's more money, it's more eyeballs. It's just how things are going today. And I know a lot of the bigger films, obviously, like the Marvel movies, Star Wars, everything else, of course, they come out first on streaming, or I'm sorry, in the theaters. A lot of movies now, they're doing both. Like, you can see it in the movies. Also, at the same time, you can rent it for whatever, for maybe a ticket price. So it's like $24.99 or something like that. But you can watch it from the comfort of your home. A lot of people take advantage of that.
I did like the George Lucas approach, like release film, spend the year talking about it, marketing the next one, release film. But you know what? You're right. Changing landscape. That's how Terrifier did it. Dropped the first one on streaming, felt it out, saw that it did well, and like, oh, you want more? Well, guess what? Our second one will now have both. And
okay,
they just kind of gauged the reception, and I feel like if it blows up, I mean, not a problem doing both. Really.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. It's yeah, so it's going to happen. I just don't know when. I don't have details, but we are going to have. I'm having conversations with Imagine Theaters, Paul Glantz, the owner, but I just don't have deets yet. But something is going to happen. Don't know when. But the only thing I can say is January 3rd, baby. That is where the focus is. This is when the film comes out. This is, for those of you that can see it, this is the way to do it. Oh my gosh. Very exciting. All right, Duncan Irvine, huge congrats, Matt. Can't wait to add your movie to my January watch list. Woohoo! Yeah. Awesome. Thank you. Cannot wait. Yep. With Prime, it's extra for ad-free now. I know, it's bananas. It's crazy how they're doing that. and they're just like,
it's not very cash money of them.
And it's just like Amazon is already doing so well in every angle. Like, why are they like, I know it's good business to just keep scrimping, but like,
Amazon, I could expect that.
yeah. Amazon also, if I'm not mistaken, and I don't want to say, listen, however you guys want to watch the movie, I just want everyone to see it. No judgment any way that you watch it, but Amazon probably pays the worst. Like, we're talking honestly, like at the end of all of this, if you watch the film in its entirety on Amazon, I think I get 3 cents is what I get. But if 100 million people watch it,
that's fair.
That's $3 million, right?
Microtransaction.
Anyway, I don't know. Awesome Insect says, release it on VHS. You know, I'm curious about that. I haven't asked yet, but is there a resurgence of, I know there is for some people. It's kind of, you know, some people collect vinyl.
That
I think some people like the packaging, and there's something about it. It's so old school, and like kids that grow up today, even if they didn't grow up with VHS, they go to their grandparents and like, look at this, and they pull the video cassette out, and like, it's so funny. Well, but I think some people really
look at Cell Dwellers vinyls. Like, each one has a very distinct, like the way it's made. These are collected. They look
the colors
amazing.
And stuff.
Each one's great. Now, if you made like a metallic gold VHS. That'd be different.
Gold. That would be interesting. And Onyx the Fortuitous, whoever won at my bachelor party, whoever won his VHS cassette, it's slime green. It's bright green.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Eric has that one. I wonder if it is slime green.
Yeah, I think it is bright green on the inside, which is kind of cool.
There might be a market for it. I just don't know anyone who actually has a VHS player.
I think that's something down the road. Like, once we get more of an audience, it would be good to do that. I'm surprised they almost didn't want to go Blu-ray, but I was like, listen, I got Kickstarter backers. We got to go Blu-ray. They said, strangely, for physical media, and most people don't do physical. Everyone watches stuff streaming these days. They said, strangely, if people are getting physical media, now you might, an argument might be something like a Star Wars movie or a Marvel movie where people want to spend a little bit more to get like the Blu-ray Steelbox and stuff like that. But for most of the world, for some reason, people are spending more dollars on DVD than Blu-ray. Makes no sense to me, but that's what they said. So they were all about DVD like that. I didn't even have to ask for it. They were like, absolutely DVD. They weren't sure about Blu-ray. And I was like, we really need to do it. And that was one of the negotiating things. And they were like, yeah, we're cool.
You can fit more on a DVD. You can pause it. You can like bring up the settings while it's playing on a DVD.
Oh, you can't do that on a Bluray?
DVD.
I don't know. I thought Blu-ray has more.
Did I say DVD? I meant Blu-ray.
Yeah.
Blu-ray. Yeah. You can do all that on Blu-ray. It's higher. It's HD on Blu-ray. It's like, it's so crisp. It's like you're actually there with the people on Blu-ray.
Yeah. Premise Land says Laserdisc. Man, I don't even know anyone who has a Laserdisc player. Christy says, just tuning in, so I missed it. I saw you said Paul Glantz and Imagine premiere. All of that is being talked out. So at some point it's going to happen. I just don't know when. It'll be one of the phases. But it's beginning with the streaming services, the TVOD, at some point, physical media, at some point AVOD, and at some point a theatrical release. What the order is for all of these, I don't have, and I'm being completely honest, I don't have official information on any of it, just what is happening for January 3rd. All right, so now what? Well, now what is we push for obviously the pre-order for Apple products on December 20th. And we've got lots of fun marketing. Already there is a bunch. I've been so behind just trying to catch up with everyone and do all the things, but there's a lot of really cool press, including this one from Filmophilia. So check that out. But I'll be sharing a lot more of these articles. Man, there's just so much going on. It is so cool. DTE says DVD is nuts. The only way I see that is in Walmart bulk bins. Yeah, it's crazy. And maybe it's something that's a little bit more in rural areas where DVD, people that don't have streaming as much or cable as much, or countries and stuff. Yeah, and maybe people that aren't really into the internet and things like that. So, but also people that collect and like physical media. There's a lot of movies. I was reading an article about this the other day where it had a list of movies that at the moment the article was released, you cannot stream the movie anywhere. You can't rent it anywhere. It's not on any of the streaming services. It's just unavailable at the moment for any number of reasons. One of them is Dogma, Kevin Smith's Dogma. I think it's finally back, but I think there was a period of 10 years where unless you had a DVD and maybe it came out on Blu-ray, but for 10 years, there was no way to watch the film. So it was a crazy list. Well, I started reading through the comments and everyone was like, that's why I still have physical media for any movie that I love. I always buy the Blu-ray because I don't ever want to be to a point where suddenly Netflix takes it down and now you can't find it anywhere. So a lot of people all the pirate movies, they're rated R. Christy says, oh, okay, cool. So Christy, definitely a lot of good juice. You'll have to, once this is done, it'll stream up, but if it's too late tonight, tomorrow, definitely check it out. We listed all of the countries and some really, really neato torpedo information that I think you will dig. Real quick, let's do a quick segue to Star Wars. But first, I need to replenish just a little bit here. James, are you good or you want some more? Or you want a Canada Dry? You want a ginger ale?
Yeah, I can grab
one of those.
Thank you.
So segueing real quick into Star Wars, man, what a year for me. And I'm just so grateful. I've been on pins and needles this whole year. Married, baby boy, Star Wars 30th anniversary, and now finally Aladdin 3477. You know what's crazy about Aladdin is for the longest time, even when we were filming, even when we were done filming, obviously the biggest question people ask, and it never bothers me, I never get irritated when people are like, when's the movie coming out? I never get irritated. I'm just thankful people are interested and they want to know when the movie's coming out. What I feel bad is every time I've been asked, I always say soon. And I don't say that like when we were done filming and I said it's coming out soon. It ended up being 6 years later. It's not that I thought it and I had no idea it was going to be. I really thought it was coming out soon. But soon is relative. And I thought, like, I don't know, 6 months. It just seemed like there was so much to do. But I was like, man, it maybe like 6 months from now. And then 6 months passes. And it's like, man, there's other things I need to, okay. But 6 months from now seems doable. And it just kept getting. And so I feel bad for all these years. People keep asking, because I keep saying soon, and I'm like, well, hey, when's the movie coming out? Soon. That's what you said last time. I'm like, no, but I mean, it really should be soon. Finally, now that people are asking, there's a concrete date, and I know it's next year, but it's less than 6 weeks away. So it feels so good having a concrete date. So for the first time in my life, when I say it's coming out soon, no, for real, less than 6 weeks. Oh my gosh.
I mean, Matt, I'm glad you have an actual date, so I don't feel bad talking about this now. But do you remember when I met you in February 2014 and you told me the estimated time it was going to take to shoot your movie?
Yeah.
You said we would be done in May that year.
In May?
Yeah. I was like,
I don't remember. Man, we barely even started. We started filming, I think, at the end of... We started filming at the end of March and then into April. But yeah, in May we had maybe 8 scenes filmed or something like that across what has become 3 films. Anyway, yeah, bananas. I thought, what I do remember, I remember once we kind of got into filming, I thought it was going to take 4 months, 5 months at the most, but I also thought everyone was going to be showing up every day helping build sets and stuff. everyone has jobs and everything, and I get it, but so it was a huge miscalculation, but man, I just kept pushing, and I'm just so grateful for everyone's help every step of the way. All right, Star Wars. Lots of stuff that came out this year. Obviously, the big show in Germany, nice. Illustrating Star Wars that shows the process. Check out these videos. The history of the R7 droid, which I was the first Star Wars illustrator to illustrate what that looks like. Okay, Aladdin 3477. Aside from all of the cool movie stuff, I have a new reveal, and that is the cover to the art of Aladdin 3477. I am going to be releasing a bunch of looks at pages. I think this week is the first week on my calendar that I'll be sharing a bunch of cool, like if you're on Instagram, you kind of swipe through like a bunch of the pages. I think this week is the first time I'll be unveiling some of that. But for you guys on the lounge, I wanted to show the cover. I had been showing this. This I thought was going to be the cover, and for a while I really liked it. I just thought it was cool and artsy, and it almost looks like Aladdin did this crazy like futuristic graffiti or something like that. But I just wasn't feeling it, and I really felt like because the movie poster and the key art just has that really cool explosive vibe. I know this is kind of similar to what you've seen before, but I just thought this was a little bit more reflective of what the key art vibe is now. I hope you guys dig it. This is the art of Aladdin 3477, the Jinn of Wisdom. It's a hardcover art book. It's got a dust jacket. It's got all kinds of bells and whistles. It's a really, really nice book. It is printing now as we speak in Europe, yeah. And I think they're shipping it in early December. When it arrives here, I don't know, because it's on a boat and everything, but that'll be here soon. So cannot wait for that. I am so proud of this book. It's my 7th art book to date, and I am the most proud of it. It's just a really, really cool look inside my my head. Okay, cool. From Christy. Christy, by the way, we need to get you on the live stream. I'll message you about it, but maybe a little bit later in December, maybe, or perhaps early January when the film comes out, something like that. We'll find a cool date that I will message you about to get you on. So Premise Land, I am returned. Awesome. I'm so glad you're hanging out with us, Ted. Appreciate the support always. Awesome in tech. I feel like that's how creative work goes a lot of times. It always takes way longer than you anticipate in your head, but it's still worth it. And that's the thing, absolutely, where, gosh, you just have to keep trucking, and it's really, really worth the long wait. And it's especially hard today for artists, I think, in this world of social media, where you can do a drawing in 15 minutes and then you can just throw it up online, and instantly people around the world can give you thumbs up and hearts and say, wow, that's a really cool sketch. There's like instant gratification. So to have this giant 3-film project that has taken years and years and years and years and years and years, and to try to find the perfect way to just release little bits of it, micro content to kind of get people excited, yet January 3rd, we've got the first of 3 films. The first enchilada is going to explode onto your screens, and it feels so good. I'm just so glad that I'm so glad that I waited and I didn't rush it, and that it's taken. Listen, no one has been like, oh my gosh, this is taking forever. No one has felt that way more than I have, but I'm just so glad that people are supportive, and
Terry always did tell me,
have been waiting.
However long you think it's going to take, times it by 3. for filming.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I've heard that too. That's a really good. Although for us, it would be times 12.
I was gonna gloss over that.
I thought it was 4-5 months at the most. It was almost to the day 5 years, and that's just filming. Obviously, it took a lot longer to get to where we are today.
You were one-man armying a lot of that stuff too, so, like a boss.
Yeah, a cover looks great. Thank you, DTE. And also a lot of it, and a lot of people are already asking, when does the second and third one come out? I don't know yet, and it's not going to be, a month later, and I don't know that it's even going to be a year later, but I can tell you there's a lot of things that I've learned this time. I mean, we spent a year just doing the song and dance, trying to find who the distributor was. So that was a whole learning curve, where now I have not signed a deal with Buffalo 8. I'm really happy with them so far. So I'm thinking I'll probably go with them. But even if I didn't, I do know the process. I know I would work with Glenn right away to kind of get that happening. And oh my gosh, once we signed with Glenn at when we were in LA at the AFM, things happened so much quicker. I wish I would have done that ahead of time, but I needed to know. I needed to go through all that time and energy of sending out 300 packages to all those different companies when I should have just gone with Glenn from the beginning. But I needed to know, and now I know for sure I made the right decision. Oh, I keep saying it wrong. January, baby. All right. You guys got to keep reminding me of that, because that is that's the way to go. Try adding a decade or two for me, not Aladdin. Yeah. It's for your books, and we're going to talk about those. Yeah. That's a huge, huge project. Okay. So speaking of books, the full audiobook of the official collector's edition, you can check that out on YouTube. I got a couple more executive producer screenings. I also have a couple local press that I'm going to be inviting out to check out the film here, which is cool. And then there's obviously screeners for some of the bigger people that do reviews at Rotten Tomatoes and all of the things. Okay. In the meantime, I have some good news. So Fidji, for the longest time, ever since we finished filming, Fidji, his eyes have been out. So Fidji has had no life. He just, his eyes don't light up. Well, the way that we made Fidji, it was really complicated because the way there was no switch. There was a switch that was on and off, but to change the batteries, you had to take off the head, and it was so difficult to get the head back on, but also to open up the head to do the brain surgery, the way that the where the battery pack was, it was just a really, really hard to get to. There was no place to have it where it wasn't visible on the outside, but there was no easy way to get in and reach to switch the batteries. So usually, in fact, it always happened anytime the batteries ran out. It was in the middle of filming, and this happened, I think, 3 times. And Clayton Celesto was always on it. It always took a couple hours. So everyone, was on set and waiting to film. But it was incredibly, incredibly hard to do. This happened, I think, 3 times during filming. So anyway, so his eyes have been out for the longest time. And, we've got this guerrilla marketing. We want to do some stunt publicity stunt things, but it would be great to have Fidji, because his eyes don't light up. So this weekend was awesome. My buddy Trevor Sutherland came out a couple different days, and guess what? Here is Trevor. We got Fidji up and running. The eyes light up. And here's the other cool thing that we did. We actually have a battery pack that's easy to access. So from here moving forward, there's a really, really easy way. If Fidji's eyes go out, we can simply change the batteries like that, and it's going to be amazing. So I suspect in the next 6 weeks, you're going to start seeing Fidji in some things, maybe out in public, and it's gonna be wild. So with that, I'm curious. Do you guys have ideas? Now it's on. I know I've been asking you guys for 2 years. Do you guys have ideas? What would you guys be into? Would you like a contest like this? Do you like secret messages? Do you like poster pieces that go like this? I know a lot of people. In fact, some people have left comments. Some people left comments even when I was releasing the pieces, bro, we get it's, just show the poster. just show the movie. Enough with the marketing. Like, we're over it. We just want to see the movie. Okay. But now that you know the movie's coming out January 3rd, in the meantime, what would make you excited? What would be something cool to see? Do you have ideas for contests? Do you have ideas for publicity stunts? There are some things that are being talked about, but I'm curious if you guys have ideas. What would y'all like to see? What would be interesting? Where would you like to see Fidgy in person? Do you want to see the actors dressed up interacting with people? Do you want to see there's a couple things Buffalo 8 was suggesting. One was a viral TikTok dance where it's a mini, like really short, like maybe a 7 or 8 second dance. Everyone has to learn it. They were suggesting, obviously, maybe this isn't obvious. Maybe you don't know. Our films, the Aladdin films, are not a musical. It does not have the Disney songs in them, but there was a music video that came out during the time the Kickstarter was out. It was a video for One Jump Ahead, and there was a newer kind of like punk rock version of One Jump Ahead. It's great. And the music video is awesome. If you haven't seen it on YouTube, look up One Jump Ahead, Aladdin 3477. It's a lot of fun. I think they were saying, and I haven't had a chance to look, but they were saying a timestamp from this point to this point, having a viral dance where everyone does the same dance. I don't know. Like, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but I know for the film RRR, that was a huge thing where people just went nuts over this viral dance before the movie even came out. So I'm curious.
RRR was great.
Oh, RRR is amazing. If you guys haven't seen it, it's the most money-making Hindi movie of all time. It is a banger. It is so cool. It's like 3 hour, maybe even 3.5 hours long. It's worth it. When I showed James and Casey, also when I watched it, I didn't think I was going to watch. I knew I was going to watch all of it, but I didn't know I was going to watch all of it in one sitting. I was like 3.5 hours. And I think I might have even been like, I'm going to watch 45 minutes and then I'm going to go to bed. I watched the whole thing. I couldn't stop. And then same for
like 3 in the morning.
Yeah, it was funny because Casey and James, we were going to see my buddy Scott's band play, and it was already like 11 o'clock at night. And I said, hey, there's this movie. Will you please, like, because we were like kind of leaving. I think the band had just finished, and come over, just watch the first half hour. Trust me, just the first half hour, and then you guys can leave, go to bed, whatever. So it was like midnight when we started, and no one wanted to leave. It was like 3:30 in the morning, way past Casey's bedtime, that's for sure.
Amazing.
Watch the whole thing because it was just so
One of my
good.
favorite movies of all time.
RRR, don't miss it.
Feels like 2 different movies at some point.
Does anyone have any suggestions, marketing, anything you'd like to see in the meantime? Anything that you think would be neat? There are going to be some like behind the scenes videos. There is a draw this in your own style that is going to be unveiled this week. A new
12-month calendar with shirtless Eric.
12-month calendar with shirtless Eric.
Yeah. I can get,
Curious, what are your thoughts on that? January, baby. Fidgy 2.0, amazing. Yeah, so glad that Fidgy has life. There's a couple things that we did. We also were able to tighten the head a little bit more. Fidgy's head got loose to the point where when Fidgy was turning left and right, it got to a point where his head could only go this far this way, but then could go really far this way. So it made it awkward for shaking the head no. It was like it had to turn this way and then shake its head no. So that's been a little bit more centered. It's just got a better feel to it. We've just kind of tightened some things, adjusted some things, and
still in your studio. Okay.
Yeah. And I'm gonna wait because there might be a perfect opportunity to unveil Fidgy, maybe on the live stream, but maybe something else. If you guys have ideas, let me know. All right, fan mail. Let's grab the next one. Not really. I have no idea what's inside here. Let's find out. It is mail.
Makes me want to add my tail.
All right, we've got a letter. It looks like we have a self-addressed stamped envelope, and there are 2 blank cards.
Man, you are not kidding. And there is a common theme to the mail you get.
All right, hello, Mr. Bush. This is my favorite time of year. This is from Christmas time a year ago. I feel bad, but at least I'll be returning this just in time this year. Yeah, I'm a little behind, and sometimes they get mixed up in stacks. I love all the decorations and the holiday music too. Sometimes in Florida, with the hot weather and all, it is hard to get into the holiday spirit though. Sweating while you're carrying a trunk full of gifts into the house is not fun. What are you going to do with all that junk? What would be a great gift will be some signed cards and signed sketches from you. Thank you very much. From Lisa. All right, you know what? Because I'm in the holiday spirit, and because you waited so long, I didn't realize this was from Christmas way back when. Let's do up some cards really quick. So one thing that I might do, of course, I have my trademark Stormtrooper. I can hear Bo upset. He's not very happy at the moment. Oh. Stormtroopers, I always say this every time, they're the easiest to draw because their armor is white. So if you're drawing on a white surface, you don't really have to shade a whole lot in.
There's a Sith trooper that has red armor with black accents. It's pretty cool.
On what? Like, what's it from?
You know, I don't know the exact source of the media, but it's represented in Galaxy of Heroes.
All right, and I'll do 20, 24. Then we need to do something Aladdin related, right?
Either Lamp with the logo or the Sky Sail. Oh, you know what? Fidgy, duh. Okay.
Let's see.
I like to assume the steel box for the Blu-ray for the collector's edition could be a Sky Sail.
I mean, look at it. He's so cute, right? Let's see here. And then we've got little buttons there. So what do you guys think? Any ideas? Is there like a contest? What about like, some people were saying, I was chatting with people at Buffalo 8 and they said, what about contests for artwork, original artwork from the films, sketches? What about props? And I have like cool stuff like robots that I would donate as a contest. But I don't know that people want that stuff. Do people really want like
props, original props,
and like original artwork?
Contest at that point.
I'm
just not an artist.
Anyway, so there is Fidji. We'll do a nice little.
Didn't you have pages from the storyboards, or was that?
I do, yeah, and that's but I have more. I did pages were part of the Kickstarter. Fiji, sign here. Aladdin. Did I spell that wrong? Oh my gosh. What is wrong with me? Aladdin 3477. Woohoo! There we go. These are going off in the mail. I'll throw some signed cards and some stickers in there. So that'll be fun. Sorry this has taken a year, but guess what? It'll be your favorite time of year again. All right. Next up, I got something that I think will be fun. Oh, people might be leaving comments. Good night, Matt and James. Good night, Brittany. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Hey, Brian. Hi, Matt Bush and Live Stream Lounge. What is up, Brian? Fiji is my spirit droid. Brian is the first person. Do you know Brian Titus?
It sounds very familiar.
He does a lot of the horror film roulettes, and I think he did the comedy one and stuff. Great guy. He was the first person to ever do Aladdin 3477 fan art. And he did a drawing of Fiji. The crazy thing was, this is fan art before we even started filming. So his fan art was an older version of Fiji before Fiji even looks like he looks now.
I remember that.
Remember that?
Okay.
It was so amazing. Like, Brian, that is just
End Titus, a film from the Motion Picture Institute. But the Titus is
okay.
What it got me.
Fiji Friday fast food hop. Ooh, tell me more. I like that idea. So real quick, when I was a boy, so I've got this thing that I do on the lounge, and it's just, I just think it's fun to kind of show stuff that I did when I was a kid, when I was little. It's not like I think my artwork was that great. Some people like to see it because it wasn't great, and maybe it inspires them like, hey, I started, with stick figures kind of like everyone else. This is something that I think you guys will get a kick out of today, because this is the second one, apparently. There's a first one somewhere, but I was a huge Indiana Jones fan, and I really dug choose your own adventure books. So I made my own Indiana Jones and the Wicked Waters. Look at this. It's a Paramount picture, a Lucasfilm Limited, a Steven Spielberg film. Starring Harrison Ford, Ki-Hugh Kwan, who just won an Oscar, Short Round from Goonies and Temple of Doom. Story by Matthew Bush. Are you ready for this? I think there's a lot of artwork. There's not a lot of reading. So I thought it would be fun to go through the adventure. Are you guys with me? Can we do this? I haven't looked through this. I think this will be fun. Okay. So, what? And it looks like someone's tapping Indiana Jones on the shoulder. That's right. Oh, Shorty, I missed you. Where you been? Oh, this must be a sequel to Temple of Doom. He says, I make my living catching and selling fish. James, is that racist? That's what I have Short Round doing?
At the time, no, because it was different then, I guess.
Okay, I love how I did this in cursive. Really, where are you headed, Indy? Well, I got a small boat. I'm out for an antique treasure in the ocean. Say, how'd you like to come? Well, sure you could. You can come with me in my boat and catch some fish. All right. Well, all right. Do you want to go now or tomorrow? It's getting dark. All right, James, do you want to go now? Go to page 3. Do you want to go tomorrow? Go to page 5.
Going now.
You're going now?
Going
all right.
Now.
Page 3. Watch we die right away.
Probably.
All right. There's no artwork on this page. You have decided finally. You say, "Oh heck, let's get it over with." Okay, Indy. Short Round says, "Where is your boat?" You reply, "Huh? Oh, over here." I spelled here the wrong way. Come on. You head Short Round over. You and Short Round head over to your 9-foot motorized boat. Ladies first, you say. Very funny, Shorty says. You both plop in the boat. You hear Short Round yawn. Hey, listen, Shorty, if you're tired, we can go tomorrow. No, I know tired.
And now it's racist.
That's how Short Round talks, though, right?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. No, I know tired. You sure? I sure. Positive, positive. You know what that means?
I know tired, Dr. Joe.
Okay, I don't fall asleep. Okay, don't fall asleep on me, big guy. Okay, I won't, Indy. Okay, you reach into the supply box in the boat. Wait a minute. Where's my lantern? I didn't take it. I know. Well, Short Round, looks like you can get some sleep after all. You have to wait until morning. Now it says go to page 5. So we would have had to do that anyway. Wow. Hey, I was a little kid, okay? All right. So next up, you decide to wait until morning. Well, Short Round, let's hit the sack. Sweet dreams, Dr. Jones, Short Round says. See you in the morning. In the morning, you set off to sea. Look at this, Indiana Jones and Short Round. Oh, man, look at this. Left tunnel, right tunnel. Which tunnel? He's holding on to his hat. So is Indiana Jones. They're holding on to their hat. Oh, what am I doing? Hold on a second. Let me, Here we go. Here we go. Oh my gosh. They're holding on to their hats because they're going so fast in this little speedboat. All right. Left tunnel, right tunnel. What'll it be, James?
Left tunnel.
Left tunnel is page 9. You decide to take the left tunnel. Oh no, look at this. Suddenly your ride gets bumpy. Whoa, Dr. Jones, sit down. You can't balance the boat. Oof. Indiana Jones. Hold on, Shorty. Suddenly the water is calm. Go to page 6. Oh, it was calm, but look at this. A waterfall. We're going over. Sploosh. Splash.
Oh, splash.
Dr. Jones. Go to page 11. All right. You are drifting. You suddenly wake up. You are rescued. Oh, you're rescued. Spelled wrong by Short Round. Hi, Dr. Jones. What does this say here?
Hi, Dr. Jones.
Oh, okay. I thought it said something else. I don't have my glasses on. Hi, Dr. Jones. You and Short Round keep on going. Then you're hit by a big bump. Shorty falls into the water. Shorty! Another bump comes and you fall in. Oh my gosh, look at this crazy octopus. If you want to fight, go to page 4. If you want to go to shore, go to page 7. So obviously it's got Short Round. You could maybe escape and go to shore.
No,
you don't
leave. You don't leave the Asian,
because that would be racist.
Yeah,
right?
it'd be racist. Go to page 4.
Okay, so we're gonna go to page 4.
Page 7's for racist.
All right. Let's see. Descent. Oh, doesn't do any. Oh, he's shooting the octopus. Doesn't do anything. So Indiana Jones takes this.
What?
He takes the motor off the back of the boat. Somehow it's still running. And look at this. He chucks it through the air. Is this underwater? Oh, yeah. It is, because look at, there's the air bubbles. He chucks this motor prop engine through the water. Oh, go to page 8. This isn't full color, but that would probably be blood there. Go to page 10. All right.
Wow.
Come on, Shorty. He's dead. And then, so they're back in the boat, and it says, Shorty, we're not out of this yet, because look at a shark fin, but not just one. There's 4 sharks. Look at, he swears here. If you stay your ground, go to page 12. If you fight, go to page 15.
Well, clearly we fight.
All right. Dun, 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 dun. So Indiana Jones cracks his whip. You can see these, they're right here. Whoop, 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 ah. And it goes around the fin, yanks this shark out of the water. Oh, and then he shoots, because shooting in the water probably isn't going to do a whole lot. And then 1 down, 3 to go. And looks like Short Round's just waving at this one, or maybe he's supposed to be like, oh, he's got a little knife. Look at, here's the knife attached to his pants. So Short Round takes a knife, throws it in his mouth. 2 down, 2 to go, apparently. A knife to the mouth. Go to page 13. I hope you guys are having as much fun as I am. I haven't looked at this. I don't even remember this from when I was a kid. Thanks, Dr. Jones. And then whoosh. This one is swimming away. So, apparently shoots it anyway, even though it's swimming away. Blam, blam. Yay, got them all. Yahoo! Go to page 16. You bump into a rock. Oof, you bump into a rock, and you and Short Round fall in the water. Ha, 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 ha. The end. And look at this. Look how clever. The whip makes the shape of the end with a little snap at the end. Go to page 17. Indiana Jones and the Sartiso Idol. I think this might be the first one. So I did one of these. I'll have to dig that up and see if I can find it at some point. But that must be an ad for the first one. And then maybe, this is just Indiana Jones and the Wicked Waters. Should I look for, is there any other way that they die? I'm just curious.
Did you have them die at some point?
What's this? Oh, this must have been going another way. This must have been the right tunnel. Looks like they get an idol. So we missed the idol. Anything else that we missed? We did all of that. Did we ever die a horrible death? Oh, yeah. Look at that.
Oh, well, that's if you leave him. Yeah.
If you tried to leave it, let's go of Short Round, and then it gets you. Sounds fair. What else? Anything else? Anything we missed? Anything the wrong ways? Oh, look at this. Oh, yeah, this was another. The end. Short Round, what are you doing here? I don't know, Dr. Jones. Eaten by a shark. It's great.
I'm telling you, those Goosebumps, choose your own adventure, like you die like half the time.
Yeah. Anyway, that was fun for me. I hope it was fun for you guys. What a riot. All filmmaker mixers, I keep suggesting a name tag that says Whitney Houston for I'm Every Woman. Jesus. Are you... What? Oh my gosh. The Aladdin Shake. So would that be the name of the would that be the name of the dance, the Aladdin Shake? I can see that. That's not bad. I need to see what the timestamp was and see what the music was there and see if we can come up with something. James, we need can we have you do a little dance for me really quick? Because maybe we need you to choreograph something. So here, flip it on you. I'm gonna make you really uncomfortable. Oh wait, here, I'm just gonna do it this way. If I do this, all right. So I'm gonna give you the beat, and you have to give me the dance. Dun 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 dun. James, look, he's still going. He doesn't even need the beat. Oh, we got to add that. That has to get added. Oh my gosh. Yeah, and like the big isn't there a viral dance from there is a viral dance from the new Deadpool and Wolverine movie with the bye 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 dance?
Yeah, but that was already in sync.
And was that exactly the dance that they had, or did they modify it a little bit? Yeah, that basically just made itself. It wrote itself. Aladdin 3477 movie 4, choose your own path with the remote. How crazy would that be?
Black Mirror did that on Netflix, and actually,
really,
it actually did work. You just once it reached a certain point, you selected what direction you were going, and Eric showed that to me.
Interesting. I'm surprised they don't do more stuff like that. I tuned into this at the perfect time, Trevor Sutherland has. Trevor, geez. I should just show you really quick. You'll have to watch this again, but we chatted all about the adventure that we had this weekend, and how wild it is that Fiji lives. So exciting. Thank you so much for all of your help this weekend. Super, super cool. Can't wait to show it off. Final Destination 3 did it with the DVD too. Interesting. I know the Clue, didn't the Clue movie have that, or was it just that it had 3 different endings?
I did not.
It might have been it might have just been 3 different endings. But anyway, so that actually wraps up this this live stream lounge. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for tuning in. So much to look forward to. I'm just ecstatic about it all. I have so much to be thankful for. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving this week. I don't know which day. I'm hoping for Tuesday. It just depends on how quick I can get everything together. There is a new Draw This in Your Own Style contest.
Oh.
And the character this time is
Vexskanda.
Vexskanda?
Oh, Lochan Shyamalan.
Lochan Shyamalan. So I'll have some really good reference images for this. It is a contest for prizes once again, and I'll have the full scoop. I'll have a video, and I'll have all of the I'll have reference on Insta and Facebook, all the places. So be on the lookout for that. Lots of new videos, lots of new fun things happening in less than 6 weeks before the film comes out. Cannot wait. All right, thank you guys. Again, real quick, Macomb College classes are available in January. There's a new mezzanine that's open right now. You can't see it here, but it's really cool. Design classes, digital illustration classes, animation classes, film and video production. This is a huge cyclone wall. It looks tiny here. This is huge. And here is one of my rooms with normally we do figure illustration in here. All the things. This is the kind of goofy stuff I draw on the board. It's what's really important, Australian breakdancing. That is the live stream lounge. It is an official podcast on YouTube. Next time, we are going to be back next week and all kinds of chocolatey goodness. I think Dave Todd is going to be our guest. He has a new book that is both on Kindle and available on Amazon, if I'm not mistaken. We are going to be talking all about it. Plus, he was very instrumental in helping with Aladdin 3477. Lots of cool stuff to chat about. Thank you, DTE. Good night, dudes. Exciting times. Thank you so much. And with that, that is the live stream lounge. Woohoo! Thank you, everyone. See you next week. I don't do the sound effects enough. I have, you know what I should have done every time I said something super corny? I should have done this. And then anytime I mention Fiji or like a robot or something like that, missed opportunities. I keep forgetting.
At your disposal.
I keep forgetting. All right, guys, peace out. Thank you so much. Whoops. Thank you so much. Did you enjoy class today? If so, give me a like. If there's something you'd like to see me cover in a future video, let me know what that is in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. I've also got a video series called Sketchbook Challenge that helps your drawing, creativity, and fill up an awesome looking sketchbook. Plus, there are videos on You Can Draw Star Wars, Hollywood is Dead, and sneak peeks at the Aladdin 3477 motion picture trilogy. In order to not miss any new videos, hit that notification bell. Sharing is caring, and it's great to inspire your friends. Share this video on social media and your friends will share awesome art tips they find with you. If you're on Instagram, you can follow me at Matt_Bush_Instagram. I'll see you back in the classroom soon. Don't be tardy.